Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending. My name is Ian Parkinson. I'm Executive Vice President, Corporate Development and Capital Markets with Emerita Resources. I'll be talking to you about Emerita and our exciting projects in southern Spain. I will be making some forward-looking statements. This is on our website. Please read at your convenience. So Emerita, and why to invest in Emerita and what our value proposition is. We have 3 projects in southern Spain. I'll get into those details very, very shortly. But in a nutshell, high level, we have a high quality mineral resource at our IBW project. That mineral resource was published in May, June of 2023. We are in a mining friendly jurisdiction surrounded by long-lived, low-risk mining operations. We have a jurisdictional framework that is very supportive of mining. The EU is quite concerned about strategic metal and base metal supply. We fit very, very well within that. And we've got some early stage exploration projects that I think anywhere else in the world would have been picked over by now. But we have a unique situation at Nuevo Tintillo. We'll get into those situations. So where are we located? And maybe this is an introduction to the Iberian Pyrite Belt for some of you. Spain has a very, very long history of mining. The Romans conquered this area about 2,000 years ago, and there was evidence of mining that predated that conquest. It has been mined on and off since the Roman times. Notable producers in the area, the Lundin Mining with Neves Corvo just across the Portuguese border from our IBW project. Sandfire just recently bought Aguas Teñidas to the north. Atalaya is producing at the world famous Rio Tinto mine where the company got its name about 150 million years ago. First Quantum is active at Cobre Las Cruces to the eastern portion of the belt. We have 3 projects all within the belt. Our IBW, or Iberian Belt West, is our most advanced. That's where we've been focused primarily for the last couple of years. We have an earlier stage project in Nuevo Tintillo that we've just started drilling. Stay tuned with that. And we have a unique situation with an ongoing court case with the Aznalcóllar project, which is a past producing Boliden asset. And again, I'll get into those details shortly. Our IBW project, we very recently filed for a mining license. This is one of the, I'd say, one of the biggest catalysts for our company going recently. This is a lot of work, but essentially it has started the ball rolling for a mining permit of our IBW project. The paperwork was delivered by our team in December. It's now held by the Spanish government or the Spanish authorities. They will take their time reviewing the information. But while this process is ongoing, we're able to continue exploring. The benefit for us, an exploitation license, other than obviously being a mining license, it's also granted for a 30-year term. Exploration licenses in the area are only a 3-year term, so getting this under our belt will be a great de-risking step for us going forward. So as I said, in mid-2023, we published our maiden resource. Across all categories, indicated 14 million tons, inferred just almost 5 million tons. If you look at this from an in situ perspective, undiluted or uncorrected for metallurgical recoveries, it's north of 10% zinc equivalent. Post-metallurgical recoveries, it's about 8.5% zinc equivalent. The deposit remains open at depth. It is only from the La Romanera deposit and La Infanta. Both those deposits under the umbrella of our IBW project. We continue to drill. During the peak drilling in 2023, we had 16 drills turning. So it's a very, very big drill program for a company of our size. And we're looking to continue to de-risk this resource and move the project forward. Our plan going forward is to complete some metallurgy on this project, and that'll populate or inform a preliminary economic assessment, which will be due out hopefully sometime mid-2024. So how does this deposit rank versus our operating or producing peers in the area? So the bubbles that you see are post-mineral recovery grades estimated, and the bars are the size of the resource. So the key takeaway from this chart is our grade is in the ballpark of the other operating mines in the area. They've been at it for longer, so no surprise, they have a larger resource base. So our plan is that we have the grade to construct or to contemplate an economic deposit. We just need to add tons. So that's why we're continuing our exploration efforts in the region. And over the course of time, As we plug away, we expect the resource to continue to grow. Deposit remains open at depth. So what you're looking at in front of you are two stacked lenses. They coalesce at depth. That's the surface topography at the top, that black squiggly line. The deposit effectively daylights. The Romans mined the upper 10, 15 meters of this 2,000 years ago, left the rest of it for us. Deposit remains open at depth. We continue to drill, continue to chase it. Drill spacing's got a little bit wider at depth, so expect more of a inferred resource as we go forward. We have every confidence that the deposit likely remains open to at least 1,000 meters below depth. Most of the deposits in the area extend multiple kilometers. We've only really chased it down to 650, 700 meters, and again, are continuing to drill at depth. Something else that's emerged with IBW, particularly at La Romanera, is some higher grade copper. What you're seeing, if you look at the assays on the left-hand side of the chart in front of you, you'll see that the copper grades have jumped where the lead and the zinc grades have dropped. Very typical of a volcanogenic massive sulfide terrain. We're seeing an emergence of higher grade copper at depth while some of the zinc and the lead's dropping off. We're following up on this now. Stay tuned, hopeful that this trend will continue and we'll see an emergence of more and more copper at depth. Infanta is a satellite deposit. It's within the IBW project area. It's smaller but much higher grade. Think of it, a couple million tons. This potentially could be a starter pit, a starter mine. Just to correct myself, these will be underground, not open pit. Think of it as something that could be an early payback scenario. The exploration potential here isn't quite as great as La Romanera, but again, it remains open at depth. So our second project, and this is one we just started at the tail end of last year, is a Nuevo Tintillo project. This is a unique situation. It's a massive land package, almost 22 kilometers long, sandwiched between the world famous Rio Tinto mine and First Quantum's Cobre Cruces. It's a package of ground that's never been systematically drilled, hasn't seen modern day exploration. Last evidence of work in this area was the 1920s, 1930s. We've just started drilling there. Again, we started drilling in late November. Only completed one hole, started our second hole after the holidays. What's interesting about this area is it's the same package of rocks that host the world famous Rio Tinto mine, Cobre Cruces, the same structures ripped through this project area that ripped through Rio Tinto. So very excited to drill this. It's going to be a small program at first, only planning to drill 3,000 meters. Think of it about €1 million exploration program, but it will be results driven. We've done a bunch of geophysics over the area. It lights up like a Christmas tree. There's 15 targets that we want to systematically test over the next 12 months. This is road access. It's very easy drilling. We don't have to maintain a camp. Our drillers can go home at night. So it keeps our drilling costs quite low compared to others in the industry. Our third project takes a little bit more explanation. Asnokoyar is a past producing open pit polymetallic base metal mine. It was operated by Boliden until about 1999, where they suffered a tailings failure. The asset shut down, reverted back to the Spanish government. There was a tender process held by the Spanish government in which we entered, and we effectively lost. We came in second in a 2-horse race. There were some abnormalities in the awarding of that tender that have now been challenged in criminal court. The case for this asset will be heard in March of 2025 at the Supreme Court level of Spain. There's no higher court in the land. It's run through all junior courts. So we are hopeful of a positive resolution in this case where we get awarded the asset. It's a phenomenal prize. It's been worth our efforts to keep pursuing this. 73 million ton reserve, of which 20 million tons are well north of 10% zinc equivalent. Past producing mine, as I said, with known metallurgy. This is a phenomenal prize. Rumors around this asset saw our share price appreciate to unbelievable levels about 2 years ago. Hopeful for a positive resolution in 2025, and hopeful to get the asset awarded to us. What we're going to do different, though, is we're not going to mine it open pit. If we have the opportunity, we're going to mine this underground, keep the footprint small. From an ESG and a permitting perspective, I think that's our best path forward. We'll target the 20 million ton high-grade resource, which is about the middle part of that big lens. Keep the footprint small, keep permitting on the easier side, and use the old infrastructure for tailings and waste commingling. So stay tuned. That's a March 2025 hopeful resolution, and that's our third of the 3 assets. Operating in southern Spain, very supportive of underground mining. The Andalusian government has mentioned that they are supportive of underground mining as a preferred economic industry. The EU is very concerned about their access to strategic metals and base metals, so we fit very, very well within those initiatives. So that's it. That's Emerita. I'm over in booth 511 if you require any additional information. Thank you.